Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for June 7th. June 7th is the 158th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 159th in leap years, with 207 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is candent. Candent is an adjective that describes something that is glowing from or as if from great heat. When something becomes so hot that it glows, it's candent, like candent coals in a fireplace. Some example sentences could include, "The blacksmith worked tirelessly shaping the candent metal into a sharp blade," or "The silversmith heated the silver scraps in the crucible until they became candent and melted." The word candent comes to us from Latin, where it actually originally referred to shimmering white or white hot. First known use of the word candent is in the 1580s. Candent. Teresa at T. Ramsire suggested today's word candent. Thanks, Teresa. And if you have a word you'd like us to take a look at, drop it in the comments. We'll check it out. And with that, Louis XIV was crowned King of France on June 7th, 1654. We've mentioned Louis XIV before. Also known as Louis the Great or the Sun King, Louis XIV was born in September of 1636. When he was just a little tyke, 4 years old, his dad, Louis XIII, recognized that he was ill and set about to put his affairs in order for the succession of his son, Louis XIV, to the throne. Louis XIII arranged for a regency to rule on his son's behalf until he was old enough to ascend, and this is how Louis reigned for over 72 years, the longest verified reign of any sovereign. Queen Elizabeth II was number 2 in length of reign. Louis XIV's reign is notable for the age of absolutism in Europe. Absolutism is characterized by the end of feudal partitioning, the rise of professional standing armies, codification of laws, and a few other modern concepts. Absolutism holds that the king is the boss now, where before kings were subject to the pope and the emperor. His mother served as regent at first, since he was rather young when he became king, but he did take over when his chief minister, Cardinal Mazarin, died in 1661, when Louis will have been about 22. If you happen to catch the episode where we talked about Louisiana, this is the King Louis XIV, after whom the Louisiana Territory was named, and the state of Louisiana then kept that name. Louis XIV reigned until his death in 1715 at the age of 76. This is the birthday of singer, songwriter, producer, and actor Prince Rogers Nelson, born June 7, 1958. Known simply as Prince, he signed his first record contract when he was only 19. Over the course of his career, he released over 100 albums, including 3 posthumous albums, over 200 singles, and sold over 100 million records worldwide. Rolling Stone magazine includes Prince in the 100 Greatest Artists of All Time list. Somewhere along the way, he injured a hip. He needed hip surgery, but he felt he was too busy to take the time off, and I could certainly understand that. Unfortunately, and to the shock and dismay of his huge and devoted fan base, Prince tragically died of an accidental overdose of pain medication in 2016. He was 57. We have a playlist of episodes for this day in history, as well as a playlist of single subjects called How About That? And words of the day in a playlist called There's a Word for That, all right here on this channel. And I'll leave links to those playlists for you, along with links to a previous episode for June 7th. Now, I thought we ought to talk about one of Prince's songs in honor of his birthday. I know we had to have talked about a song or two of his before, and several titles popped to mind as I was thinking about this. Purple Rain, Raspberry Beret, Little Red Corvette, for instance. There are so many. But today, let's talk about Let's Go Crazy. This one was on his album Purple Rain, and it's also released as a single in 1984. Let's Go Crazy became Prince's second #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. He liked to play Let's Go Crazy in concert, often segueing into another song. After Prince's untimely death, Let's Go Crazy charted again on the Billboard Hot 100 and has sold well over 1 million copies over the life of its release. Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Link in the description. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.